Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're pulling back the curtain on a world where loyalty is what's the luxury. Every move is calculated, and a shadowy past that keeps threatening the present.
Yeah.
We're plunging headfirst into this labyrinth of international intrigue. The lines between hero and villain, they're not just blurred, they're like constantly shifting.
That's right. And this deep dive, it takes us through a whole stack of intel reports, classified communications, and some really personal accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And in the center, you've got these two figures, Jason Bourne, obviously grappling with his fragmented past, and this other guy, Leonid Arkadin, a really ruthless assassin.
And their paths seem kind of destined to collide, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It feels inevitable.
So our mission today is to pull out the critical insights from all these complex stories. We want to help you understand the hidden gears of global power, the devastating impact of personal betrayals, and the, frankly, startling origins of a really terrifying threat. So get ready. We're going to connect some dots and hopefully uncover some astonishing truths behind this huge web of secrets.
Okay, so where do we start? I think we need to begin with Leonid Arkadin's chilling debut. Let's call this first part The Serpent's Coil, Betrayal and the Birth of a Vendetta.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Our story opens with Arkadin inside a high-security prison in Nizhny Tagil, Russia. He's definitely not there for a visit.
Yeah.
His target is this formidable figure, Borya Mox, and Arkadin carries out the hit with this chilling precision.
Yeah, it's cold.
But what really sets the tone, what makes you go, whoa,
Ah,
is when he takes Max's thumb.
as proof.
Yeah, the thumb, it's grotesque, barbaric, almost ritualistic, like you said.
It really is.
And it tells you immediately about Arkadin's ruthlessness. This isn't just business, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like something more, almost like branding.
Mm.
It foreshadows this deeper personal vendetta driving him.
It really shows the world he operates in, where that kind of token isn't just evidence, it's a statement. Exactly, a statement. And behind that statement, Pyotr Zilber. He's the son of this powerful figure called Spectre.
Right. Pyotr hires Arkadin. They meet in Campione d'Italia, the super opulent Italian place.
Mm-hmm.
And the job is to eliminate his father's big enemy, Semyon Ikupov. Pyotr's very meticulous about it. He gives Arkadin incredibly detailed intel.
Like everything, right? Satellite maps, bodyguard lists.
Architectural blueprints of Ikupov's villa, the works. He's clearly trying to prove something.
Oh, he is. It's fascinating. Pyotr thinks he's smarter, bolder than his own father, who he kind of sees as timid.
There was that incident when he was 11, right?
Yeah.
Protecting his mother.
Yeah, exactly. That definitely shaped him. But here's the kicker. This meticulously planned hit, it never actually targets Ikupov.
No, it doesn't. Arkadin pulls this shocking double cross.
Right.
Instead of delivering Ikupov dead, he delivers Pyotr alive to Ikupov himself, who turns out to be the Kazanskaya leader.
Which is just, yeah, wow. The betrayal is immense. And Pyotr's torture afterwards.
Yeah.
It's harrowing. They exploit his claustrophobia with a hook. And then, in this final desperate act, he bites off a false fingernail. It's got poison in it. He chooses death rather than reveal information about something called a pipeline.
A pipeline. What could be so important? Choosing death over talking.
It tells you how incredibly significant that information must be. And it really sets the stage for Arkadin's own complex loyalties. He's not just a gun for hire. He has his own agenda.
And a future revenge plot is definitely brewing there.
Oh, yeah. It makes you wonder, like you said, what information is so vital it's worth dying for?
That's a powerful question to kick things off. Okay, so from that brutal betrayal, let's pivot. There's another kind of battle happening, this one inside the top levels of U.S. intelligence. Let's talk about Washington's war room, the battle for American intelligence.
Okay.
We got Veronica Hart stepping into her new job as DCI, Director of Central Intelligence. And she inherits, well, a complete mess. Twin debacles, they call it.
Right.
A murder and a huge security breach.
Yeah, it's a baptism by fire for sure. And right away, she faces intense opposition.
It's striking how fast the personal ambitions and power plays just bubble up, overshadowing national security.
Totally. Her appointment is met with serious skepticism from inside. It shows you how fragile the intelligence community can be right from the get-go.
And leading that charge is Luther Lavelle. He's the Pentagon's intelligence czar, and he's got serious backing from the Secretary of Defense, Bud Halliday.
Right, Halliday. Lavelle is relentless. He basically wants to dismantle the CI, the Central Intelligence Agency, and just absorb it into the Pentagon.
His whole thing is electronic surveillance,
Right.
He thinks that should dominate everything, which is completely opposite to CI's traditional strength in human intelligence, humanity.
Exactly. And Hart immediately pegs him as this power-hungry egotist who just loves ruining careers. Laval himself thinks oversight is, quote, a bitch.
Charming.
Yeah. And he operates parts of Pentagon intel without any oversight. It's a really dangerous mindset when you think about national security. How does personal ambition or even just a different philosophy on intelligence gathering warp things?
Especially when the people sworn to protect the nation are basically at war with each other.
Precisely. And adding to that internal weakness, you have Rob Batt. He's a senior CI directorate head.
Okay.
And he initially sides with Laval and General Kendall. He starts feeding them info on Hart, her movements, her decisions.
Why? What's his angle?
Well, Batt felt he was passed over for the DCI job. By a woman, as he sees it. He thinks Hart's a threat, thinks she'll run CI into the ground. So he's trying to get an edge in the power struggle, basically sabotaging from within.
Wow. That just shows you the vulnerability inside these agencies when ambition and resentment override loyalty.
Yeah, it compromises national security from the inside out. You've got this tangled mess of espionage and betrayal within the very institutions meant to protect us. It's a really dangerous dynamic.
Okay, so while that war is brewing in Washington, let's shift back to the man at the center of so many secrets, Jason Bourne, and his own deep internal fight. We're calling this part The Shadow's Toll, Bourne's internal struggle and external threats.
Right. Bourne is just constantly exhausted by this battle within himself. Jason Bourne versus David Webb. He lives with this deep, deep fear. That love, closeness, first with Marie, now with Moira. It just inevitably leads to death for the people he cares about.
He's even thinking about retreating, right? Going
right.
back to university life, trying to find some peace.
Exactly. He's contemplating it, which really humanizes this high-stakes world he's trapped in. It's not just about the missions, it's the psychological weight he carries. He feels like a part of him has been sliced off, wakes up sweating from dreams of Webb's life.
He yearns for peace, but like you said earlier, his identity is a weapon.
Yeah.
Keeps attracting danger.
And the external threats are definitely real. Moira Trevor, his companion, she becomes a target. She's being shadowed in D.C. by, well, they don't know who initially.
And Bourne helps her evade them, right? Uses his skills.
Yeah, he does. But that leads to this troubling discovery, these irregularities in the former DCI Martin Lindros's private communications with Moira.
Lindros. Okay,
Yeah.
so that casts suspicion on her.
It does. It's unsettling how Bourne trying to protect her actually draws her deeper into the spotlight he fears. These irregularities suggest a bigger web of deception. Is Moira compromised? Or maybe being framed?
In this world, trust isn't just rare, it's dangerous.
Absolutely. And then, get this. Professor Dominic Spector, Bourne's mentor.
Yeah.
He gets abducted in a black Cadillac right in front of Bourne.
No way. What does Bourne do?
He goes after them on a bicycle, weaving through traffic. It's pure Bourne, daring, resourceful, shows he's still got it.
Does he get him back?
He does, manages to rescue Spector, and then Spector confesses he had an ulterior motive for trying to draw Bourne back into academia.
Which was?
The premonition of danger. He hoped Bourne would help him face whatever was coming.
Ah, okay. So Spector knew something was up. It tells us the threats Bourne faces aren't random. They're connected to his past and to Spector's own hidden fights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This whole section just makes you think, how can anyone find peace when their very identity is like a magnet for danger? It's an internal war mirroring the external one.
So, as Bourne is dealing with all that, let's unpack the Black Legion's roots, a twisted history. Because this is where things get really chilling and unexpected.
Okay.
Spector confesses his real passion is fighting the Black Legion. He identifies them as a ruthless Muslim terrorist network. But then he reveals their previous identity, the Eastern Brotherhood.
That's a huge piece of the puzzle. The Eastern Brotherhood had this public face,
Yeah.
right? Peaceful integration, all that.
Yeah, a total front. Secretly, they were a brutal terrorist network.
Yeah.
That duality sets up this really shocking historical connection.
Right. So Bourne and Petra, they follow a lead to Dachau.
Dachau, the
Yeah.
concentration camp.
Yeah. They visit the Leitenberg graveyard, which is desolate, and the official memorial. And there, they find stationery. It's got the Black Legion's insignia on it.
The insignia is,
3 horses' heads joined by the Nazi SS Death's Head.
whoa,
Yeah.
the SS Death's Head. That's a terrifying link. What does that really tell us?
That imagery is incredibly powerful. Disturbing. It's not just an insignia, it's a direct, visceral connection to Nazism. And this discovery gets amplified when they talk to Old Pell.
Those old pals.
He's a former Nazi hunter living in, get this, an old air raid bunker in Dachau. And he reveals the Black Legion's true, insidious origins.
Okay, light on us.
Pells explains their post-WWII success came from cunning negotiations with Western intelligence services. They played both sides.
No kidding.
Fronted by two key figures, Farida Kupov, that's Semyon Gupov's father, and a guy named Ibrahim Sever. This organization, literally born from the ashes of Nazism, evolved. It became a Muslim terrorist network, but it was always exploiting various powers for its own ends.
It is a massive aha moment, a shocking lineage for a modern terrorist group.
It really is. It makes you confront how ideologies can just morph, persist over decades, how historical shadows reemerge in new terrifying forms.
And it exposes this deeply cynical strategy, right, by both the Black Legion and the Western powers who kind of enabled them for Cold War reasons. They created a monster they couldn't control later.
Exactly. It's deeply unnerving. Okay, so while these global threats are solidifying back in the U.S. intelligence world, another battle is raging. Our next part, NSA's abyss. Torture, espionage, and a hero sacrifice takes us into the really dark side of clandestine ops.
All right.
Soraya Moore, she's Typhon's director, and this operative named Tyrone, they launched this incredibly audacious mission: infiltrate an NSA safe house in Virginia.
And how do they even attempt that? NSA security must be insane.
They have Kiki, a brilliant hacker. She creates a virus to disable, get this, 2,000 CCTV cameras guarding the place.
2,000, wow. That just underscores the scale of the challenge. The expertise needed is incredible.
They're going right into the belly of the beast, knowing the risks are huge.
And Tyrone's role is crucial here, isn't it? Almost sacrificial.
Totally heroic. He goes in undercover as Special Agent Damon Riggs, fully aware he might not make it out. He gets captured and endures horrific torture and disorientation. They hold him in these rendition cells in the basement.
Rendition cells, clandestine interrogation sites, basically outside the law.
Exactly. But even while going through hell, he manages to capture damning evidence. Photos, video footage of the NSA's illegal interrogation methods.
This part really exposes the dark underbelly, doesn't it? Where moral lines are just gone.
Obliterated. Tyrone's sacrifice is immense, but the intel he gets is priceless. It's a stark reminder of the lengths people go to for power and the courage it takes to stand against it from within.
But help comes from an unexpected place, right? Willard?
Yeah, Willard.
Yeah.
He's an NSA steward, but secretly he's the old man's eyes and ears inside the agency. Loyal to a previous generation's ethics, maybe?
Okay.
He sees what's happening to Tyrone, uses his access to relay a message, just don't give up. And later, crucially, he gets Tyrone's evidence out to Soraya.
So Willard's this kind of sleeper agent for the good guys.
Sort of, yeah. His quiet defiance is pivotal. It shows that even inside these seemingly corrupt giants, there are individuals holding on to a different code. That act allows Soraya to make her big move.
And what a move it is. She uses Tyrone's evidence, combines it with dirt she has on General Kendall stuff, revealed by another mole, Rodney Fair.
Right, compromising photos of Kendall and everything.
And she just turns the tables completely on Lavelle and Kendall, exposes their corruption, their illegal activities, and ultimately saves CI from being swallowed by the Pentagon.
It's the climax of that whole internal intelligence war. Soraya's move is precise, calculated. It doesn't just expose them, it protects CI's mission, prevents the military from taking over intelligence gathering.
It makes you reflect on the courage needed to fight that corruption and that razor-thin line between power and abuse.
Definitely. Okay, now let's shift back again, focus on the evolving threat. From skyscraper to supertanker, Arkadin's path, it gets even more brutal.
If that's possible.
Right. After being betrayed by this woman, Devra, he finds this brief connection with a brothel girl, Yelena, almost a flicker of humanity.
Almost.
But then this guy, Stas Kuzin, murders Yelena. Arkadin's revenge is savage. He kills Kuzin and throws him into a quicklime pit right alongside Yelena's body.
Jeez. That's incredibly dark. It solidifies his identity as a monster, like the text says, a reflection of the brutal world he's in.
It really underscores his personal pain, his fractured self. He tried to protect Yelena, this rare glimpse of vulnerability, and when she's taken, his payback is absolute. It shows how personal vendettas drive even these hardened operatives, twisting them.
Meanwhile, the intelligence picture is pointing towards the Black Legion, targeting the Empire State Building in New York. They have architectural plans from a source named Heinrich. This is what Bourne is chasing hard.
And that initial target, it's a brilliant decoy by the terrorists.
Yeah.
They know how to manipulate information, draw attention away, send agencies scrambling down the wrong path.
Classic misdirection.
Totally. But then Moira Trevor, who's now chief of security at Next Gen Energy,
Right, new job.
she uncovers something devastating. A flaw in the software for the LNG terminal at Long Beach.
LNG? Liquefied natural gas.
Yeah, and this flaw, if someone exploits it, could cause an LNG tanker to crash into the terminal. The explosion, 5 miles in diameter, the thermal radiation, burning people to a crisp for another 5 miles beyond that.
Oh my God, the scale is unimaginable. Suddenly the threat level just skyrockets.
Exactly. The whole focus shifts dramatically. It highlights the cunning of these networks, the interconnectedness of everything. The LNG terminal attack is way more insidious, more catastrophic than bombing a building. It's an environmental and human disaster waiting to happen.
And then the truth comes out. Empire State Building. Just misdirection. Long Beach LNG terminal is the real target.
And get this. Ekupov and Sever, despite hating each other, despite Pyotr being unreliable, they're now allied. And they're both heading to the LNG terminal, each with their own spies, their own agendas.
It's getting crowded.
You bet. And Arkadin. He finds out Ekupov is heading there via a text about the next-gen jet carrying this critical coupling link for the terminal. So Arkadin pursues him. He wants revenge for Devra's death.
So all these threads are converging on Long Beach. Global terror plots, personal vendettas. The tension must be insane.
It really ramps up. The true scope of the threat is clear, driven by both this grand ambition for chaos and these deeply personal, almost primal quests for revenge. The stage is set for one hell of a showdown.
Which brings us to the final confrontation. Beast versus beast. It starts on the next-gen corporate jet heading to Long Beach.
Right. Arkadin confronts Sever, who we now know is Spectre and Ekupov, and he lays it all out. Ekupov's manipulation, how Arkadin was just a tool, never really valued.
How does that go down?
Not well. Spectre Seaver gets injured in the confrontation. Meanwhile, Bourne finds a hidden tracking device in his own passport. He realizes he's been under deep surveillance the whole time.
So he's also realizing the extent of the network watching him. Nobody's truly free.
Exactly. It's fascinating how identities and loyalties just unravel right at the climax. Arkadin, realizing he was a pawn, fuels this rage beyond just getting paid. And Bourne's discovery highlights how pervasive state surveillance is, even for ex-assets.
So Bourne and Moira arrive at the LNG tanker, the Moon of Hormuz, by helicopter.
And Arkadin's already there. He infiltrated earlier, hid in a container. He reveals himself.
And then what? Fight.
Not immediately. He actually proposes a temporary alliance with Bourne. An uneasy one.
Why?
His motivation is revenge against Ekupov for Devra, and he also wants to stop Sever's man. It's an alliance born purely of necessity and shared enemies.
Wow. Bourne has zero reason to trust Arkadin, but the threat is too big.
It's testament to the chaos. Arch rivals have to team up, even for a moment, against the bigger danger.
So who is Sever's man? The saboteur.
It turns out to be the doctor on board the tanker. He's actually Sever's software engineer, there to execute the attack using that software flaw.
And Moira gets injured trying to stop him.
Yeah, she's hurt in the struggle. It just underscores the immediate danger, the high stakes. It also reveals the chilling precision of the Black Legion's plan, exploiting that specific technical weakness with a skilled operative right there. Confirms the target.
And then it finally happens. The main event.
Yeah.
Bourne versus Arkadin.
Yeah, the ultimate brutal hand-to-hand fight in the engine room of the tanker. And Bourne has this realization. He sees Arkadin as his mirror image, a heart of darkness and pain beyond understanding.
So the fight isn't just physical.
No, it's profound. It's a struggle against a reflection of himself, of what he could become. In the end, Bourne wins, throws Arkadin overboard into the sea.
The climax, all those threads, personal and global, tied up in that one brutal fight.
Absolutely. You witness the raw, visceral conflict, but also confront that unsettling idea. The greatest enemy might be the one reflecting your own darkest parts. It's a battle for survival, not just for the world, but for Bourne's own soul.
What a journey. We've gone through a world where this Cold War-era terror group, the Black Legion, literally evolved from Nazi ashes into this modern, terrifying threat. We've seen the battle for control inside intelligence agencies being just as fierce as any external conflict, and how personal histories, betrayals, quests for revenge, they all shape global events.
And figures like Bourne and Arkadin, they aren't just operatives. As Willard, that NSA steward, reveals to Bourne, They're products of this chilling ambition to create the perfect beast, forged by these shadows into ultimate warriors.
This deep dive really shows how tangled our world is with these unseen struggles for power, identity, survival.
Yeah, the threads of history, personal trauma, political ambition, they're all woven together, creating threats that feel both ancient and terrifyingly modern.
So, as you go about your day, maybe consider this final thought. If the perfect beast can be engineered, not born by these hidden forces, what does that say about free will, about the nature of evil, about what it even means to be human?
It's a heavy thought, something that definitely lingers long after the chase is over.